Well, I wanted to start off this video showing you the sunset that we had the other night. God sure knows how to paint a beautiful picture, doesn't he? Well, I started making, or I was going to make over this little grater. It's not real. It was from Hobby Lobby. I got it when it was marked down a long time ago, and it's been sitting above my cabinets. In fact, is there a spider web in there? Anyways, it's been sitting above my cabinets, and I decided I had bought these here to hang over. Let's see, it's kind of hard to show. Anyway, it hangs over a door or hangs on a cabinet or something to for candles. But I have 2 or 3 of them, so I did cut one down. I took my cutters and I cut one down to fit on here. Then I got to thinking, well, I could do this, but not everybody is going to have one of these to do that with. And I like for you to be able to do the crafts if you like them. So what I did is I went and got some wire. I made one. I made it too short, but I mean, that was my, what you call, prototype. Because I would like for it to hang down a little further. So what I did is I thought, well, I have to have some wire, so I got some wire. This is pretty thick wire. I'm not sure if it's not baling wire. It might not be quite as thick as baling wire. But anyways, it's pretty, it's bendable, but it's strong. And then I thought, well, I've got to have something to wrap the wire around. So I went and found this little rolling pin, minus the handle that fell off. I have to glue it back on, but it works perfectly now. And I thought, well, to start with, this has got this to hold the candle. Can you see that? I thought, well, I need to start with that. Well, first off, I made this one. I cut off a piece of wire about 20 inches, and it's not long enough, so I'm going to do another piece of wire and make it probably about 20. I'm going to go ahead and do 23 inches because I can always cut it off at the end if I don't need it. So I'm going to just make one from scratch. Of course, things go better when I'm just doing something. When I'm on camera, I seem to mess everything up. 21, 23 is right there. Guess that's pretty good. Now I'm going to cut that off. Now I've got to make that little turn. So I take my pliers, needle nose, and I'm going to do that, all right? Okay, that is going to, I'm going to lay it up against that there because we're going to have to come, make sure we're going at the right angle and come up. Let me move this out of my way. This wire is kind of long. Okay, I'm going to start going around one turn. I might be getting off of camera, but this is kind of hard to do like this. Okay, I've got to get it at an angle where I'm not hitting the camera. All right, I'm going to hold that there. And now my wire's back there. It's being hard because I have to watch where my wires. Anyway, I'm going to wrap around that. Trying to space it out. Let's see, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 besides this bottom piece. All right. Got that flat on there. And then I'm going to just kind of space it. I think I'm going to go. No, I better stop because I didn't cut it any longer to go any further. Okay, I'll take that out of there. Let's bring this back and see if it's going to work. I need my candle. Okay, put that down in there. This was easier to do when I wasn't on camera because I could hold it right. Okay, I want it about right there. I could have went about 24 inches actually. And I'll wrap that around. And now I have a candle holder on my grater. I will mess with these to try to get them a little more evened out. Trying to figure out how I got that one to lay flatter. Probably messed with it. It's wire. You just got to mess with it. And there, you have one to go on yours if you don't have. Of course, this is nicer and neater looking. But I think once you get it put together, I would use it. It wouldn't bother me. You can space these a little different. And straighten them out. Alright, so all you have to do is wrap one around here. Find you something. I wouldn't wrap it around the candle itself because it might be a little tight. I found something just a little bit bigger than the candle, just a smidget bigger than the candle. That's why I use this. But if you have a dowel rod this size, or you just have to look around and improvise and find something. But before I started the project, I wanted you to be y'all to be able to find a way to do this also. So that's what I done for that. Well, I'm going to continue on now. What I'll do first is it's just a little plastic battery light candle. I'm going to do something with it. I mean, it just right now it just looks like a little piece of plastic stuff. But if I put plain Mod Podge on this, it wants to peel off. And I do have some what do they call that? Gesso paint that is supposed to make, make it where they'll stick to stuff. I'm going to use some gesso first, and then I'm going to figure out if I'm just going to kind of give it a little color with take some Mod Podge and put some brown in it, or maybe some coffee or something. I don't want it all grunged up, but I want to give this some color other than this plastic look. So I'm going to go find my gesso and try that. Well, here's where I'm at so far with this. I'll tell you what I done. I didn't want to coat this with a heavy, like cinnamon and make it real dark. So what I did is I painted it with this gesso. And it says, let me see, where's it at? It says, a thick white primer that seals, stiffens, and provides surface tooth for painting surfaces. In other words, so things will stick to it. It won't peel off. And this was just plastic, and stuff would, if I just was just to put Mod Podge on there, it probably would peel off. And as you can see, I didn't, which that looks better than just white, but that's just some of the Mod Podge and the coffee mixture, and it kind of, slid down or whatever. I just left it like that because it looks better than being stark white. But I painted the candlestick with the gesso first, and then I mixed up some, just some Mod Podge and instant coffee till I got it as dark as I wanted it. And after I let the gesso dry, I put a coat of that on there. And I like the way that looks. I like that color. I might do that. I have those flickering candles, a set of 3, and they're kind of an off-white. And I would like to have them darker, so I might use that technique on those. I have 2 or 3 sets. I'll try it on one. But anyways, this is what I've done so far. I've just wrap some material around here, and then I've made a little bow, and I'll put that up there. I'll hot glue that up there, and then I'm going to start, putting some stuff on it and just kind of dressing it up. And it's just a simple, easy little project once again. Well, so far, all I've done is glue the bow on there, and then I took a little rusty star and I drilled a hole in there. It's not wanting to focus very well. And ran some wire through there and just twisted it onto the candle holder. Boy, why is it blurring? There we go. And now I gotta find some stuff to try to decorate it with. I don't know, it's gonna be pip berries, Sweet Annie, or something else I have around here, but I'm gonna start decorating just a little bit, not a lot. It doesn't need a lot. Okay, I've been sitting here just messing around, and I think I just glued some Sweet Annie onto the back of that little sunflower. And since it's fall, I think I'm just gonna somehow just put that on there and just leave it. I'll have to turn it around. I may have too much stuff on it. I may take some off, but that's where I'm at so far. I'm not sure. I'm still gonna keep messing around with it. Well, I got the little candle and the grater finished. This simple, easy project, and I did end up using the little wire that I twisted myself and put the rusty star on it. I drilled a hole in the rusty star and ran some wire through it, and I just put a coat of gesso on my candle, and then I darkened some Mod Podge with instant coffee, and I like that color. And that was easy to do. And then I made a bow and put a little sunflower and some Sweet Annie on it. And I think that turned out real cute. All right, on to the next one. Well, my husband brought me these two old buckets home. They're milk buckets. And they were from the old home place. And his brother is down the road down that way. Anyways, this is what they used to when they milked the cows. They carried the milk in that, and I guess his brother was getting rid of stuff, was going to throw them out, and he took them and brought them home to me. Now this one here is definitely, the bottom is just about shot. But you know, I could, it's getting, you know, it is fall. It's going to be, I'm going to be buying some mums. That would look cute with a pot of mums sitting in it. And this one is in pretty good shape, and it's an unusual shape also. So I will do something with that. And I'm really glad he brought them home to me. I like them. They're old and they're rusty, and they're just what I like to decorate with. And I just had a thought with this one here. I've got a craft show in 2 weeks, and my Sweet Annie will be all dried up by then and ready to go. And I bought some little cellophane bags to put it in, and I could do a bunch of them up real nice and stick them in that old rusty bucket. That would be a cute display. That just came to me. I think I'll use that for the display, selling my Sweet Annie. Alright, on the rusty bucket, I've decided to use this right here. I did this one up with the LW Mercantile font, but I'm afraid all these little pieces here would just be too much to go on that bucket. There's dents in it and everything, and it'd be hard to stencil on. So I'm not going to use this one, but I am not going to delete it. I'll leave it. I might want to use it later. I'm going to use this one. I got this out of the Silhouette store, but I don't want to use these little swirly things right here. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to release the compound path, and then I'm going to remove these from that. And then I'll select all of this and make compound pass so it all comes back the way it should. And now I'm going to load my stencil vinyl on a mat and put it in the Cameo and cut it out, and I'll stencil this onto my bucket. Well, I have my stencil on. As you can see, it's the can is bent right here, and it's the stencil material is not wanting to stick to this rusty can real well, so I'm going to have to be real careful that I don't get a lot of bleeding. But I have some plaster by Waverly out and the sponge, and I'm going to stencil that on very lightly. Alright guys, I'm in the bathroom. Well, I was cutting down some Sweet Annie. I got the bucket finished and I wanted the Sweet Annie to go in it, so I was cutting that up and putting a little hairspray on it to preserve it and putting it in the pretty little bags. And I made a mess. I mean, I have a mess. And that's just extra pieces here that I didn't bag up because I ran out of hairspray. I have 2 bottles that won't spray, so I can't do any more till I get some more hairspray. But I'm going to clean up my mess, and then I'm going to show you the finished bucket and what I've really decided to put the Sweet Annie in when I go to my craft show this weekend. Alright, here's the bucket finished, and it turned out pretty cute. I did run a little bit of sandpaper over it just so it wouldn't be so white. And I'll get me a mum and put that outside on my porch. But here's what I decided to put the Sweet Annie in to sell it at the craft show this weekend. I think it looked a lot cuter. I got this basket at the thrift store, and I always use it to take out to the garden when I'm gathering vegetables. But my garden's pretty much giving it up, except for there are some stray pumpkins still coming off, and I have lots of pumpkins. I wonder if I could sell those too. And I still have lots of Sweet Annie that I've got to bundle up. I've got some there, and then I still have some in the guest bedroom all hung up where I keep my canned vegetables. But I think this basket is cute for this. And I'll just take my milk bucket that I just finished and just put some mums in it and set it outside. Alright guys, I have a very small thrift haul that I want to share because I need to get that done because I have one item in there that I'm wanting to use, and I'm saving it back until I do my thrift haul. So it's just a short one, but I think I got some good stuff to craft with. Alright, here's my little small haul, and anytime I can pick these little Crocs up, I do. As you know, you've seen those over and over. And that was 50 cents. Then I got a little bottle, it's a new one. It's never been opened. 50 cents for tulip fabric paint. I bought some of this. I wished I hadn't, because I've been gathering it like crazy. But sometimes I like to paint t-shirts or something, you know, on material. So I got that. I picked that up. Black's a very common color when you do that. And then this was packaged up, but I opened it up. It was 50 cents. They had it on sale at Walmart for $4. Evidently they bought it. It's a heavyweight, has 10 sheets of textured photo paper, and it has the watercolor finish. It has like ridges in it. And I printed out this. It's a house that my son and his wife's buying, so they're making this up to put in a frame to give to the lady that they're buying their house from. She's probably just a little older than I am, and her husband passed away, and she's moving where her kids are. So it says thank you for the memories, because she shared, when we went there to look around and stuff, she shared a lot of memories. Her husband done a lot of the work on this home, and it's very nice on the inside. So anyways, it's a watercolor look, so I printed that off. And I have a lot of digital prints. I have some with pumpkins, the truck, you know. I have a lot of digital prints that look like watercolor, but this paper is going to work real well on. So I was happy to get that, brand new, still all packaged up. Then I picked this up. It's not old, but it does have a wood handle. If I want a wood handle for something, I have it. Or if I want to rust this up and use it in something, I will. I have one for my pie making and stuff, so I don't really need one, but it was 50 cents, so I picked that up. And then this little pan here, it's an older cake pan, a small one. It was 50 cents, kind of rusty, and that's just the right size to make, you know, like do up a little vignette with things in it, you know. So I picked that up because I'll probably use that. And then I found this, and these little eggs aren't cheap. So I got these little eggs. I'll redo this little. So it looks like somebody's actually painted it. And actually, if it was just kind of had some dark over it, I might not mind it too much. But, and I don't know about the hearts and that, but then put some little, well, put some moss in it, you know, instead of this. Or I have some paper. Anyways, I'll redo this up, and I'll set it in there where I keep my eggs that I gather every evening. And I think it'll look cute beside my egg basket. And then the thing that I wanted to do the project with was this old Atlas Easy Seal. It's had a glass top and probably a, you know, like the rubber ring, red rubber ring. But, and it's got cobwebs in it. Yeah, there's no spiders, they're gone. But I have a project that I want to do for fall with this, and then when it comes Christmas time, I'll redo it for that. But that is my very small haul, and I didn't spend much, and I got things that I like and that I wanted. So that's why I go to the thrift store, because I'm kind of addicted, but I only get what I really want and what I'm going to use. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next one, we'll see you later.